Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're digging into something quite specific, but really relevant for anyone involved in defense procurement, particularly concerning the African continent.
That's right. We're looking at a recent tour by Raff Military Textile. They were in Gambia, Mauritania, and Tunisia back in March.
Okay, so this is like getting an inside look, yeah. Understanding the needs of the defense market there from a supplier's perspective, but with takeaways for decision makers.
Exactly. Think of it as a field report. The goal was connection, talking to industry, talking to government, figuring out the challenges, the needs, and spotting opportunities for growth.
And for our listeners, defense decision makers, procurement managers, we're aiming to pull out the key insights, the stuff that really matters for their roles.
Precisely. What can they learn from this kind of direct engagement?
So Gambia, Mauritania, Tunisia, three distinct places. What was the common thread, the main objective of hitting these three spots?
Well, the core mission really was to get a deeper understanding, not just surface level, but really grasp the challenges and opportunities faced by partners in Africa. It was about listening.
And what came out of that listening? Any big picture observations?
Yeah, a few things became pretty clear. There's this growing need for new gear that somehow manages to blend modern technology with, traditional requirements or regional specifics.
Interesting balance.
Definitely. And then there seems to be a gap in the market. Suppliers who can do really specific custom work. Apparently they're hard to find, even though the demand is rising.
Okay, so customization gap.
Right. And finally, the rules, the procurement regulations, they're changing fast. What worked last year might not work now. It adds complexity.
So it's a dynamic environment. How does a company like Raff position itself in all this? What's their stated mission?
From what the report suggests, their mission is about providing customized products that actually meet these evolving demands. It's framed around improving safety and security through tailored, sustainable solutions. This tour was about checking their alignment, making sure they're really hitting the mark.
Got it. Let's break it down by country then. First stop, Gambia. What were the key insights there?
Gambia came across as very receptive, open to new ideas, particularly for military and police textiles.
So, a positive atmosphere.
Seems like it. The discussions with industry folks were described as enthusiastic. People seemed keen to, upgrade their defense solutions.
And were the talks focused on immediate needs or more long-term stuff?
It sounds like both, actually. Addressing current requirements, but also laying groundwork for future collaborations.
Okay, moving on to Mauritania. The report called that visit impactful. What stood out there?
Yeah, impactful suggests some pretty meaningful conversations happened, especially with institutional leaders.
Deeper engagement, perhaps.
Seems so. The focus there was very much on customizing products, tailoring things specifically for the region's defense needs, which seem to be shifting.
And there were specific mentions of people who helped facilitate things.
Yes, which is quite telling about the importance of local contacts. Mr. Buraka Zaras, the commercial counselor, was thanked for his hospitality and, crucially, his insights.
Right.
And also Mrs. Tuhuleb Sidi Ali, the director of a company called Etop Sarl. She was acknowledged for her welcome and what was called a strong spirit of partnership.
It really emphasizes that personal connection aspect, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's clearly not just about emails and contracts.
Okay, let's turn to Tunisia, known for its industrial capabilities. What was the angle there?
Well, Tunisia presented opportunities tied directly to that industrial base and its technological progress.
So more about integration, maybe.
It looks that way. The report mentions an alignment between Tunisia's sort of dynamic approach to security and Raff's focus on quality. The meetings there seem to have centered on how Raff's solutions could fit into Tunisia's existing defense systems. Practical integration stuff.
Right. So after visiting these three diverse countries, talking to different people, what are the key takeaways for our listeners? The real practical tips for successful defense procurement in Africa based on this experience.
Okay, I think three things really stand out from the report's conclusions. First, and this echoes the Mauritania point, build good personal links.
The relationship factor again.
Crucial. Connect with local government reps, industry people. They offer guidance on, cultural points, regional specs, stuff you just won't get from a distance.
So local intelligence is key. What's the second point?
Direct engagement reveals the real picture. Being there, on the ground, uncovers challenges and opportunities you just wouldn't see otherwise. It's about getting past assumptions.
Seeing is believing, essentially.
Pretty much. And the third takeaway, Understand the rules. Each nation has its own unique procurement procedures, regulations.
And they're changing fast, you said earlier.
Exactly. So navigating that complexity, well, local expertise becomes invaluable there too. Trying a one-size-fits-all approach is likely to fail.
This all seems to point towards needing a longer-term view. The idea of sustainable partnerships came up. What does that mean in this context?
It means these trips, these meetings, they're just the start. You need continuous exchange, follow-ups. That's how you build trust for, actual long-term collaboration.
It's not just about the initial sale.
Not at all. There's even a quote included. Relationships are the foundation of success in any B2B environment. It sums it up well.
And how do sustainable textile solutions tie in? Is that purely about eco-friendly materials?
Not entirely, no. Here, sustainable seems more about creating solutions that sustain performance in the field, meeting real needs effectively over the long haul. So innovation isn't just fancy tech. It's about creating products that genuinely solve problems for the soldiers or officers using them.
Okay, so for procurement managers listening, maybe weighing different suppliers, what does RAF say makes them stand out? What's their differentiator?
They point to basically three things. One is their history over 50 years in the business. Experience counts.
Sure.
Second, they emphasize innovative products designed for these evolving needs we've discussed. And third, that focus on long-term partnerships rather than just, quick wins.
And practically speaking, can they actually deliver on the customization point, adapting to local needs?
The report claims they can. It mentions flexible production capabilities to meet specific government demands and create region-specific solutions. So yes, they're positioning themselves as being able to meet that customization gap we talked about earlier.
And what about the private sector? Do they work with private security firms too?
Yes. The information suggests they engage with both public entities like armies and police and private security companies, usually through bulk orders, it seems.
So wrapping this up, the big picture seems to be an African defense market that's definitely evolving with very specific needs and where trust and relationships are just fundamentally important.
That's a great summary. For the listeners, the key messages are: understand the local context, culture, rules, get on the ground for direct engagement, and focus on building those sustainable, trust-based partnerships. It's about collaboration, not just transactions.
Makes sense. And if listeners want to learn more about RAF military textile specifically or explore potential partnerships.
Well, the suggestion is to connect with them directly. I'd imagine their website or contacting their team would be the way to go to delve deeper and stay informed about their work in the region.
Good advice. It certainly leaves us with something to think about.
Indeed. It prompts a question, really. As this defense landscape keeps shifting so quickly, how are you ensuring your own partnerships are truly dynamic collaborations, built not just for today, but for long-term security and success? So it's about more than just business.
It really is. It's about contributing together towards a safer, more secure future on the continent.